This is Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. Your way of tapping into the Force from a galaxy far, far away. Hello there.
Hello, what have we here? Here's where the fun begins.
Count me in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. Our Rebels rewatch continues today with Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8, titled Wings of the Master and Blood Sisters. Wings of the Master was released on November 11th, 2015. It was directed by Sergio Paez and directed by and written by Stephen Melching. Blood Sisters was released on November 18th, 2015. It was directed by Bosco Ng and written by Kevin Hops. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And how are you feeling about a couple nice little episodes of Rebels?
Ooh, I wasn't expecting the Wings of the Master specifically.
Cooked.
This Hera episode. Oh my god, I forgot about this one completely. But this one was fucking awesome. I think maybe my favorite of the season, which is crazy. Just I don't know. It cooked on a level where Hera. It was just a really nice Hera episode, and it gave her deepest, kind of explanation for why she likes flying and her reasonings for it. But then little, I don't know what. Let's see. I took his name down. Yeah, Quarry, the little dude who's like just up there making planes and he's a little dick at some points, but
if it can fly here, it can fly anywhere.
Yeah, he's just such a cool little.
Oh no! I don't fly. Yeah, no, it's a funny character, man. I've always really appreciated this episode. A couple weeks ago when we did our ship draft, I was tempted to take the Blade Wing because it's so fucking badass. And I think I mentioned it, but it was one of those ones where it was like if you haven't watched Rebels recently, it's probably going to slip through the cracks, But it's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. I love it.
It was flying, and it was already cool, and she was doing all the maneuvers, everything. But then whenever
beam,
oh, dude, pull the big lever on your left or on whichever side it was, and then boom, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. But
yeah, that's a blockade buster right there, and that's why I really, really appreciate. Just you spoke to how it's a Hera episode, man, and Hera's my favorite character in the show, so there's always something a little special about this one. I think that this episode takes the time to appreciate Hera, which is cool. She got sidelined was that last week or 2 weeks back? She's so good at what she does that they need to sideline her sometimes, or else she'll solve the problem too quickly. So this time they were like, let's just give her her own entire problem, This time she gets the plot line of an episode, and I really, really appreciated that. They show how much they all appreciate Mom. They show how badass she is. It's a really, really good episode for that character and for the way that the Rebels crew, the Ghost crew, appreciates that character, which I appreciate in turn. But
she is just too OP. Yeah, you're right. She does. If she is in any situation, it's just she knows what to do immediately. Right. She just kind of But it is nice to be. She can't even she's the best pilot we know of, but by far out of pretty much anyone in the galaxy right now. And she's plummeting through this upper atmosphere and just loses power. And at that point, I don't. She's even a little scared at that point, and but I like how
I knew you wouldn't come. Yeah, no, it's I love that whole part.
Yeah,
man.
If I told you wouldn't come, and then Zeb or Sabine points out was that a ship? And Zeb's like, yeah, that definitely was a ship. And Hera's like, no,
you're seeing things.
No, yeah, come on, that's just your imagination. And
it's no big deal. Yeah, no, she's a fucking badass, man. And I think that first episode, Wings of the Master, really, really puts that on display because she's a fucking real one. And I love the explanation for why she flies and why she got involved, and that's one of my favorite elements of the show is every time they cross paths with someone who's undecided or staying out of it or not political or whatever, and they're always like, yeah, that's fine, but people are dying out here, man. We're going to do our best to help them. You can do whatever you want. It's okay. But just know the right thing to do is to help, you know? And I like that, you know, Quarry, she earns his respect, and therein he's like, you know what? Okay, yeah, I can get down with this.
Yeah. Man, he can't really ever, I don't know, he's always kind of a dick about it, though. Like, Hera just spilled her heart out to him, and then he's like, we've wasted enough time. And then he says, you know, my plane needs a pilot, you know, and then he gets her
you need
a
a ship,
bit, but
my ship needs a pilot. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, man, you hit her with the we wasted enough time right after she just gave you her whole life story, man, and then just shut it down. But no, it came. It's nice.
You know, he spends a lot of time in isolation. He's not, the social cues aren't his strong suit, you know. I'll give Quarry the benefit of the doubt here. But I agree. He's a fun character, and I appreciate, you know, there's a moment during this episode that just strikes me as so funny because it's so it's not entirely inhuman, but it is like Quarry's a grown man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a grown man. And whenever Zeb like picks him up by the shoulders, it's so funny to me. That's so foreign and alien because like grown men don't get picked up like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny that within the context of this galaxy, that's just something that Zeb gets to do to this guy. Because if a grown man, first off, if a grown man can do this to you, you don't want to fight him anyway. But you also feel a lot worse about it than what Quarry shows.
Yeah, dude was placed upside down.
This is a humiliating move. Getting
had to
picked
be the
up
one.
and held.
Yeah, Hera had to be the one to be like, Zeb, no, put him down. Like, come on, man. But who knows how many people Zeb has done this to? He's just bigger than everyone. I mean, has he encountered someone as big as him in the show?
I don't know. This is another scenario where I feel like, and it's very, very subtle with this show, and I don't think they do it too much. But scaling might be a little bit of an issue when it comes to Zeb. I feel like when he faces off with Callus, they're relatively similarly sized.
That's true. That's what I was thinking of. The thing to jump to my mind immediately of same size was Callus, but I'm like, how can that be right? I'm like,
Callus isn't that human. Big. You know, he's a big dude, but like, so I think that they scale him a little, like, not like crazy. It's not like he's noticeably smaller. It's just that, you know, when it comes to animation and framing things, I mean, it's the same thing with live action. You prefer people who are a similar height, you know, if they're going to be side by side because it makes it easier to shoot. But Zeb, he does. They often, like, whenever he, in the very first episode, they're like, you never seen a rare hairless Wookiee before? He's like obviously towering over everybody, you know? So like, I've never thought about it, but there might be a little bit of a scaling, not issue, but thing that they play with a little bit with him.
I wonder, it might just be a perk of animation where it allows you to do that, because I would have never really thought about it. Like, at all. I would have never picked up on it. I guess it took, you know, doing a podcast over it. And
there's also a little bit of a character design hack there, where the way his, like, legs bend, he can squat without it looking like he's squatting, essentially. You know, like, the way his legs bend, it's weird. He's got, like, almost... I don't know,
like hyper extended,
like he's got like in the joints, like almost look like they fold backwards and stuff. Like it's a weird fucking design he's got going on. But it's also like perfectly normal. So like he hunches a lot. You'll notice that, like when he walks around, it looks like he's like ape-like, gorilla-like. You know, he never really walks with his shoulders up and broad. And I think that's again that scaling thing. They're trying to make him appear a little bit shorter than he actually is. I've never even considered that. One of the characters that's pretty underrated in that first episode that I really, really appreciate is Kanan. I'm obviously going Hera, doubling up the Hera noms, but I did want to give some love to Kanan because he does a good job at owning it. He does a good job at doing things whenever things need to be done. He shows a keen understanding for who Hera is and what the cause is at this point. And we've seen him be hesitant to partake. We've seen him be like, I don't know about this whole organized rebellion. I don't like militarizing. I don't like the war. I don't want to get into another. But he realizes that this is his responsibility now, and I appreciate the way he steps up when he's needed. He's not just like, we need to wait for Hera. Obviously they'd prefer to wait for Hera, but if they don't have a choice, they don't have a choice, and he's ready to pilot the Ghost if he needs to.
And all they're doing is delivering supplies for people on the planet, and the Empire is trying to kill them. I think that's just
not even supplies. Food.
Yeah.
Fucking food.
Just literal
They're starving
things to survive. Just literal, that is it.
How alien. How alien.
Right when they
that
enter...
an imperial power would be limiting access to food to a population. That doesn't seem real, right?
That could only happen in Star Wars. No way. No way. In the real world today.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
God,
our Israeli listeners, fuck off.
I mean, right when they enter the we're detecting ships coming into the blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, we've detected the supply ship. It's the Ghost. Target the Ghost immediately. Only the food. We don't care about the bigger ships that could destroy us.
Whoever is carrying the supplies, all focus fire on them.
And I think this episode might have been the most apparent of how faceless all of the people in the Empire are. I mean, it was just the no eyes, just none of you never see any of their eyes. They're never.
And I love that they're expressly using the same face model when they do that. We've discussed this before. They're really stripping the Imperial officers of their identity. I love that. It's a great touch to a show that already has so many. There's a lot of anti-imperial sentiment, obviously, from a Rebel show, and I think that's really, really important in a show that is for kids. You do not fuck with fascists. And even if it is on a subliminal level like that, where it's fascism takes away your identity, it does. I wonder how many kids watch this going oh, that one character who pops up all the fucking time in the Empire. If they think it's just the same fucking guy, because it might as well be. I appreciate that touch. It's something that I've always really appreciated about the show. But 7 is definitely the highlight of this week. Just because it's fucking cool, and I love one of my favorite lines. I don't remember if I picked it or not, but it's whenever. My favorite scene is Hera saving the day, coming in at the last second and sunning their bitch asses. That's the best. That's the best shit.
Make some room.
When she pulls up and the relief Kanan has, and she says something like, "All right, guys, form up. I'll cover your entry. You get ready to pierce this blockade." And Kanan's like, "Everybody, listen to your captain." It's just so it's more the delivery and the relief he has than the actual line itself. But it's just, again, the way that I appreciate Kanan appreciating Hera. Not being afraid to let her take the reins, recognizing that she's the one who needs to take command, and even ultimately recommending her for command by the end of this episode.
That was nice. That was a nice moment there too. Yeah, and I think or what does Kanan say at the very end? Very well done, Commander. He calls her Commander, or no?
I think he calls her captain. He still calls her captain, which is
captain.
But she's a Phoenix leader now. She's the leader of the squadron.
Yeah. Sadly, after Phoenix leader got at the beginning of this episode, so the spot was needed to be filled. But boom. Sorry to Phoenix leader before. But you're not Hera.
You're not Hera. You're not. It's just how it was inevitable, But that's one thing that I also really appreciated about the episode is we don't see them. We know they have insurmountable odds that they're facing. You know, we know that but usually whenever we get the like most hopeless, downtrodden moments for the rebels, it's at the hands of the Inquisitors. You know what I'm saying? It's at the hands of the Force entities. It's not the Empire itself, like just militaristically we are outmatched. You know, so I appreciate that they threw in this part of the episode where they are trying to drop food for a population and they simply cannot breach this blockade, because that's something that's always been funny in Star Wars, is that it's always talked about, you know, oh no, there's an Imperial blockade. It's like never been a fucking problem that there's an Imperial blockade, you know, like they always manage to get past it somehow, whether it's, you know, smuggling somebody or coding their signature or whatever, you know, it's, I appreciated that they actually made an episode where an Imperial blockade was a true fucking problem, because it would be a true fucking problem. Not that it's ever a complaint of mine that it's not, when it's not, but it is good to have moments like this, because I think that's one of the strengths of the later seasons, is that the Inquisitors become less relevant and Thrawn starts running the show for the Empire, and they are just getting outwitted on the military side of things, which is arguably the more exciting part of the show for the rebellion anyway. You know, obviously for Ezra and Kanan, it's a little different. You want the Force entity stuff, but for the rebellion, it is most interesting whenever the Empire is giving them a tough time. But no, I loved that it sucks that I don't think the Blade Wing ever comes up again.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, man, it seems that we're gonna start mass producing these and giving them to the rebellion and start using these as blockade busters. But what the heck? What happened? You know, why did this fall under the wayside? Like, what's
OP? It's a hack.
I guess it would just be fucking. I mean, the laser just goes hard.
And you know, it's a prototype. Maybe it's not replicable. You know, like, you know, there's. But I don't think they even acknowledge its existence ever again. And maybe they do, and they're like, Corey said, you know, like maybe it's in the side. They're like, what about Blade Wings? Can we get more Blade Wings? You know, like, I don't know. I could see something like that coming up, but I don't really remember. I know we don't see it again. At least I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, looking into the wiki, it looks like it was produced a little bit. It says that it saw action during the Galactic Civil War. And I don't know, maybe this is the only action, is just this. Right here.
Yeah, I'm like, this is action during the Galactic Civil War. So
further appearances produced by the Rebel Alliance after the Battle of Yavin, partly as an in-universe explanation as to why the B-wing and A-wing fighters created for the Return of the Jedi did not participate in the attack in the first Death Star. They've been designed after. How is that an explanation of why they don't exist? I feel like that's an explanation of why they should.
Why they should? Yeah, no. But regardless, no. It is a really, really cool ship, and I think it's just that with Hera, if you give her a weapon like that, they'll tear down the Empire in seconds. So it's a difficult thing to provide a character and keep around without it getting like destroyed or something. But yeah, no, but I want to speak a little bit to the second episode, because I know we're showering the first episode with a lot of love, but true. The second episode, episode 8, Blood Sisters, I believe is what it was called. Yeah. A Sabine episode. We don't get a lot of Sabine episodes, and I appreciate that, you know. It reminded me that in season 1, I'm fairly certain it was episodes 7 and 8 that were kind of Hera. No, it was not episodes 7 and 8. It was episodes 5 it was episode 6 last season. That was like a Hera and Sabine episode. I'm glad they each got their own this time.
Yeah.
But that exploration of Sabine a little bit further was nice. A little bit more of her history. You know, you used to be a bounty hunter. You know, that makes a lot of that connects a lot of dots for me, or whatever Ezra says. I appreciate that little moment. It's a really fun way to show how much Sabine has changed, how much her motivations have shifted, without us ever having to actually see what she was like.
Yeah, I think it's like, what is this? Tetsuo? Yeah, Tetsuo.
Tetsuo Onyo.
Tetsuo Onyo. Yeah, what a design here. Is
Awesome.
pretty sick. But I think this is what Sabine would have been if she just kind of stayed in the game, because they do say like it was their dream to join what was it, the Black Sun?
Black Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a. I'm thinking Crimson Dawn. It's like they're sort of close.
It's a rival syndicate.
A color and a sun, or something related to the sun.
Right.
They literally are rivals, like Crimson Dawn and Black Sun.
I'm fairly certain.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I
they're
think
just criminal.
The Hut cartel, the Pikes, the Crimson Dawn, the Black Sun. And I think that they have their alliances, but it's like any crime family situation. Like they have on the surface, everything's good, but the five families might break out into war every 10 years or so. It alleviates tension, et cetera, et cetera. But, no, Black Sun, I can't remember where else they've popped up I don't know that they've ever popped up in anything else, movies or TV wise. I just know, I think comics, they've been a little bit more prominent. At least that's what I'm fairly certain of.
Looks not much. Looks a little bit in the Clone Wars, I guess. Is what this is saying. A meeting with the Shadow Collective, Black Sun, and the Pike Syndicate. I guess.
Yeah, that was in season 7. You see Dryden Voss talking to Maul and.
And.
Yeah.
Wow, some Dooku and Grievous maybe. Defending against attackers.
Maintains bases on Mustafar and Ord Mantell.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Okay.
Man, on Mustafar. Damn.
Yeah, that's intense.
There's some real ones. Okay, we got to worry about the Black Sun a little bit. But, I mean, this, Tetsuo, I guess she's in the game. She's one of them, but even she was even to be swayed by Sabine, just through her actions. I mean, she was passed out completely on the ship, and I guess who was the one?
Yeah,
someone was like, "Come on, no, you got go." Was it
Chopper?
Was it Chopper? Yeah, I'm like, there's no one else there. I'm like, so who?
Yeah, Chopper's going. Well, come on now.
What the fuck? Come on now,
what the fuck?
Yeah, you gotta go get her. But that
there's
was
a part
nice.
whenever an alarm starts going off in this episode, and I swear Chopper says, "Now what the fuck is that?" It sounds like that.
So many what the fucks. I mean, he just throws them in there like it's nothing.
And maybe they just fit, but I feel like Dave Filoni has said that he said stuff like that for Chopper's voice, but it's
and he was the one who actually had who was responsible for a plan or something. Maybe it was in the first episode or something like that. Someone was like, "And whose plan was this?" And then Chopper's like, "Wah, wah, wah," like it was me or something like that. And
yeah, and it's like a little triumphant little noise he makes. Like it's a great little. It's funny too because obviously Chopper's a great role player here, and he has been throughout the show. But
yeah,
I'm shocked I haven't gotten a little more Chopper. I feel like I remember more Chopper. You know what I'm saying?
And the war crimes. I was like, I don't know. I need him to go. I feel like that's how I remember him, as a crazy son of a bitch that just goes ape shit. But I don't know. Maybe we will get there. Ezra still stole co-pilot from him, and he got a little upset there. But Kanan, it was almost a line there. It was like, I don't know, just cheesy. But Ezra's like, tell Chopper that I'm co-pilot, and Kanan's like, well, you're both co-irritating me right now.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. And so they're just Kanan taking kind of Ezra's or Hera's role of just kind of being the one to be delivering these supplies or taking charge on that mission, but Hera's the one actually on kind of like a Jedi mission in or just the actual main kind of mission, side mission for the episode. And it was nice to have everyone there. But Tetsuo, I mean, I almost went with Corey, and then obviously I had to go with Hera for that one. And then I almost went with Tetsuo for this episode, but then I'm like, no, I have to go with Sabine. Like it was kind of clearly they're both episodes, and a nice little kind of duo here. Like the episodes don't really relate, but we kind of do just get a Harrow solo episode and a Sabine one, so it kind of does feel like a nice little duo.
Yeah, they pair off well, because I appreciate episodes that'll key in on one character or the other. Like actually something that I'm also watching right now, and you'll I don't know, I'm finally getting around to it. I'm watching The Bear. It was my homework assignment last week for my dad and I's show on Penny Bloom. So actually, I would have already talked about my full thoughts on The Bear this past Monday on Penny Bloom Pod. But regardless, every once in a while, there's an episode that is entirely about one of the characters. What they are doing. It's a very big ensemble. There's a lot going on, and every once in a while, they'll just zero in. And it's something that a ton of shows could benefit from. And it's something that Rebels always did really, really well. And it's something that The Bear does exceedingly well. And obviously whenever The Bear does it, it's a little bit more dramatic, but it's, there's something really, really charming about keying in on solo missions within the Rebel Alliance that I think they really, really, they benefit from. I think Sabine's a better character than she was prior to this episode. And I think if you didn't appreciate Hera before, you appreciate her now on the other side of that episode, And I think that's the good stuff. That's the stuff I want to see. And we're not far off from a Zeb solo episode, I remember the one where him and Callus get stuck in the cavern. That's this season, That's not too far down the line.
Shoot.
Yeah, yes, indeed. So like we're getting everybody a little love, which is good. That's something that the Rebels crew and shows that are designed like this with an ensemble that works together, that it needs. And I really, really appreciate that.
Man, yeah. I guess the one little thing I didn't mention from the Hera episode was the line that I ended up going with, and it was whenever she was pouring her heart out to Corey there. And she was going on for a while, but she said that explaining her love for flying, and she says it's all rooted in something I can't explain, a need to be up there, because even when there are explosions all around me and things are at their worst, I feel like I'm at my best. And that's kind of the moment that Corey was like, okay, you know what? Yeah. I think the pilot has landed. And I wonder how many visitors he actually gets, because he says most of them crash, and I wonder if Hera was actually just the first one to literally survive, and no one else actually survived, and he was just kind of being like, well, let's make sure that she's just morally a good pilot first before, but he's like, well, I have no other option because no one else has survived. But I guess
I haven't talked to anybody in years.
Yeah, I think this dude, I mean, hey, he made a pretty damn good plane, but for some reason it just didn't take off right away. I know I had to scare Sabine and Zeb, thinking that
that's
Hera
my
was
favorite
dead
shot of the episode. Whenever they run up to the edge and then it comes zooming up, that shit's fire. That shit's cool. But yeah, no, my favorite line from the second episode is it's very simple. It's a long way to Alderaan. That whole sequence I actually find to be very, very funny. I think that's an extremely comedic sequence where I love that Ezra's just been. He didn't really have anything to do, so he tagged along on this mission, and he's like obviously making it worse, which is very, very funny. Sabine is much better at the subtle. It's a long way to Alderaan. Like Ezra going up to everybody and being like, "It's a long way to Alderaan." Am I right? Am I right? You get me? No? Okay. Like he's doing the whole wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing, which I think is super fucking funny.
But this little gonk droid was there the whole time. I mean, did you literally need to be on top of the dude to say, to say the line? Like
maybe you just needed a little bit more privacy. Needed the hangar cleared out so nobody knew it was him. He
was just he knew the whole time. Yeah, he was just he actually just wanted it to be closed. Okay, I see. But smart move here. I guess, but man, really. Yeah, I guess if you if you say that it is a gonk droid sitting there in the bay, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it being secretive, and someone could get that intel, whatever. But I guess Tetsuo somehow got it. she was like, well, no, I fully expected this. I knew this information.
Right. Well, and she also could be. She also could have just scoped it out and watched them until they found the person or found the right option. But yeah, no. Regardless, I love that first interaction between Tetsuo and Sabine. I think that that's a really really good establishment of history. It's. I mean, obviously it's exposition heavy, but it's necessary in a situation like that. And I ultimately love the way that Tetsuo is won over by Sabine, kind of like reminding her that it's never too late. You can always be somebody you never thought you were capable of, etc. It's a strong episode, and I think it's got its morals in the right place, which is always good.
Yeah, a lot of good back and forth, a lot of good of like Tetsuo being on Sabine's side, and they're friends again. They have to fight, just troopers at first, and then she's up in the ship actually threatening to blow it up,
blow her
and
ass
take
up,
the bounty, blah blah blah, and then finally they're boarded. The Empire's
blowing
after
up a
them,
little, blowing up a ship, blowing up an Imperial ship is pretty nice. I love that.
Yeah, the good little Sabine, man, she loves her explosives, and
never get between a Mandalorian and a weapons package.
Yeah, it's true. Corey almost got beat up by Sabine too. I mean, Sabine could even pick him up like Zeb did.
Yeah, for real.
Hold him upside down. But yeah, no, it was nice that flip, and I don't know, I liked the escape the most whenever she did set the explosives and the poor little the pilot, the captain in that other ship, I don't know, waking up and he's like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, emergency protocol.
What's going on?
Yeah. And yeah, but you get, it worth it for the Imperial destruction there. I think that the one solo just little, I don't know what you call that, like is that their equivalent of like just a bus or like a what?
Yeah, I would say so. Like we saw one of those earlier whenever Minister Tua was like escorting that one guy, and it was when C-3PO and R2-D2 were in the episode.
The super
I think that's the last time we.
The line
Yeah,
delivered.
yeah.
Oh, what? Like Imperial regulation.
It's Imperial regulation. I love that guy. I love that guy. So it was sad to see him go. I'm headcanoning it's the same guy.
No, it can't be this. Was it? I
heroic ending. He blew up. Against his will, he blew up an Imperial shuttle.
Maybe better.
He's a martyr.
Yeah.
He's a martyr to me. I will rally for this man. But I love this guy. It's Imperial regulation. Sorry, I hate to see him go, but if there's a way to go, it's like that. I'll tell you
That's
that
true.
much. But
yeah. I was at first. It did seem bad, but I think it would be better to give him because what else is he gonna do? just drive people around all forever and never do anything more? No, he did real damage. He did his little part in his fight for the Empire. So
every time we move our lines forward, in the words of Nemec, this is a fucking rebel right here.
Yep. Yeah. By definition,
no, but,
I mean straight up.
Straight up.
But no, I guess
did more here for the cause than some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you said you were wanting some more Chopper, but I think he came through in the Sabine episode a little bit. Whenever he's blown out the airlock, and then he just flies onto Tetsuo's ship, and he's like slowly taking out like wires and little bits and pieces of like her weapons. And I don't know, I think that was my shot of the episode, is he just has like a little wire or something and just kind of yeets it I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but he just like, in a very, like he knows that it's fun. Like the way he tossed it, he knows it's just a funny way to throw it.
Right.
Like he's self-aware of like the camera kind of being there, and he's just having fun. He's just diabolical.
He's a little bit of a, he's a little meta with it. He's like, haha, you'll love this.
So being like, no, I really don't believe that you could do it. Like
right.
Like there's no way. You just literally can't. But yeah, Chopper coming to the rescue there for a little bit.
Chap,
little chap. But yeah, it's definitely a Hera double nod and a Sabine double nod. For these
Tia Sarkar
episodes.
is really, really good as Sabine, man. She doesn't, I mean, she's consistently good. She's just consistently outshined by a just notable performance. So I appreciated that they locked in on her in this one because she is really good. I've always really appreciated her as Sabine. So it was nice to be able to give her a little bit more love than I have in the past. And same with Vanessa Marshall. You know, she's really consistently good too. But there's usually somebody I can be like, ooh, yeah, them. You know, but. Yeah, no, it was a good couple episodes this week. I'm very, very happy with it, and I can't wait for next week. Next week we got another couple goodies on our hands.
Yeah, what's even coming up? We got Stealth Strike and the Future of the Force. Okay. Wow, we got some. It's not looks like I don't know, Rex and Kanan and Ezra going on a mission, looking like Stealth Strike, and Ahsoka v an Inquisitor. Looking like the other one there. Okay, let's go. This is gonna be good. But all right, yeah, I think that might be it on these two. Let's see. Have I gotten all the favorites down? Oh, I guess just the line of the second episode. That Ezra's like, man, last time these two saw each other, they were shooting at each other, and Hera goes, if I'm not mistaken, when we first met you were stealing from us. And Ezra's kind of taken back by that. He's like, oh, yeah, well, fair enough.
He's like, oh, yes, yeah, right.
Do we see more of Tetsuo? Like, they kind of let it as, like,
I think this is another loose thread, you know?
Yeah.
Sabine says, you know, no, and I'm happy with that, about it being, like, not the last time she'll see her, and I'm fairly certain it is. Maybe it's not. I feel like it rings a bell that she might end up joining another crew, like another rebel crew. A rebel cell, but I might be thinking of someone with a similar design as her or something. But
oh wow, is it Ketsu and not Tetsu? On the wiki, it's a K. What?
That's weird.
No way.
I'm pretty sure in the subtitles it's Tetsu.
I know. That's why I'm like, huh? I was trying to find her page to see if she popped up anymore, but yeah, this says identifies as Ketsu Onyo. What the heck?
Oh yeah, man! Why did the subtitles must have said Tetsu?
I
right?
swear it was T. I mean, I put T too, and I got it off the subtitles guaranteed as well. Yeah, I mean, what? That's weird. I mean, this might be we woke up in a parallel universe today where it is now Ketsu Onyo somehow. I don't know. I did watch that Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, and that's kind of the whole point of it. Is the whole galaxy swaps into a new one.
Right.
But I don't think this little change, just a T to a K, would be galaxy implicated. But yeah,
no, it changes everything. It changes everything. But no, yeah, it's I didn't realize that. Now that we're talking through it, maybe it was, and I'm fucking tripping. But I could have swore it was Tetsu Onyo. But regardless, Ketsu Onyo, very, very cool character. I really, really enjoyed her. I don't feel like she pops up again, but if she does, it'll be a welcome surprise. But
yeah, it looks like one episode, The Forgotten Droid. That's
okay.
Let's see, what season is this?
That's later this season.
219. Okay, and then art only, A Fool's Hope, which is 414.
She comes back for the final
and family reunion. Yeah,
she comes back for the final standoff. Yeah, she's down for it. She's down to ride. Okay, cool. I thought she might come back around, and I'm glad to know she does. But yeah, then with that, I think we can move on into trivia after a good little discussion of those two. What have you got for me today in the Star Wars trivia?
Well, this one I just kind of always knew of this character. I guess I'll accept two answers here, but I'm mainly looking for the name of this person. But if you can also get the species that they are, I think that's probably acceptable as well.
Okay.
But this is in the prequels. There is an assassin sent to kill Padme Amidala, and this assassin, the I guess maybe that's giving away a little bit too much, but I think the shapeshifter. Eventually, I just either want to know their name, or their species, if you can get that. But the name is
I can't
more.
remember the name of the specific species. I know that the Jedi refer to them as changelings. I believe it's... Oh... The name is, like, deceptively simple. It, like, sounds like a normal fucking name with, like, a... Like a... Zam Wessel.
Yeah. Yes. Wow.
I feel like it's like Sam something. Yeah.
That is
Zam.
why.
Zam
I don't
Wessel.
know. I expected it to be something crazy. No, it is just Sam Wessel.
It's just a normal fucking name. Yeah.
But
no, Zam
species
Wessel.
wise, they are clawdites.
Clawdites.
And shapeshifters. I guess is that I guess just a species thing. That's kind of crazy. It's crazy we don't see more of them. In Star
where are the
Wars.
changelings? Give me some more changelings. I dig those, and I always loved that they called her a changeling. It's always been very funny to me.
We need the scrolls. It's kind of the Star Wars equivalent of scrolls, and I feel like that's an untapped market right there. But yeah.
One day we'll get a little love for the Star Wars scrolls, but the Claudites. But good, okay, Zam Wessel, I like that. My question, similar formatting to yours. I'm looking for one answer, and the second answer is a bonus point. Definitely not the primary question by any means. George Lucas makes a cameo appearance in one of the Star Wars films.
Oh,
what Star Wars movie is it? And if you can, give me the character's name. But regardless, I don't think this is something I learned. I knew what movie he was in. I didn't know what his character's name was. So the movie's all I'm looking for. If you do know the character name, fuck yeah.
What? Let's see. Okay. I think I reasoned my way through like a John Williams, one of these before. I don't think I don't know this, but what would he put himself in? Would it be like a sequel where they wanted? No, probably not a sequel. It'd have to be one of his, I would say. But who the hell would? I wonder if his face is even shown, or if it's just like in a helmet, or I'm gonna say it's a prequel, and I'm gonna go with Attack of the. Yeah. I don't know why. It's either Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith are the two that I'm between. I would have no clue on the character that he plays. But I'm going to say because I don't even think they exist yet. I was going to say like maybe one of like the red just helmet dude.
The Imperial Guard.
But I don't even think no. I would say I'm going to go with Attack of the Clones though. That was I guess what jumped out, or would be the one I'd go with. But yeah, I would have no clue on what character he would play.
He plays a character named Baron Papanoida.
Baron okay.
Papanoida.
Who is Baron?
I think Baron's a title, if I'm not mistaken, like the Baron.
Oh, okay.
I believe because he's done up in prosthetics. He's very alien. He appears in Revenge of the Sith, outside of Squid Lake, as it were. Whenever Anakin's running up the stairs to go meet, or outside in that like really luxurious hallway to go meet Palpatine at, I believe it was Squid Lake, right? That was one of your questions earlier.
Yes. Oh my God, really? And like just out in the lobby, or like he's
just walking down the hall with somebody, and it's just him done up in like some really extreme prosthetic work. Here, if you look up Baron Papanoida, which is Baron Baron, and Papanoida Papanoida.
Is he the same He's the same species as who's that? Pantoran. Yeah, there.
Pantoran.
Oh, who's that? Oh my God, is she in the Bad Batch? I feel like maybe.
Yeah, the senator. Yeah.
So,
Ryo Chuchi.
yes. Okay. Oh my God, I would have been clawing at that one for a while, but man,
Yeah, it took me a second.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the context. It's at the opera house.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm looking at him. That is crazy. George was in one of the movies. Who would have thought? Man, yeah, I had no clue. Did they even animate him? They put him in Clone Wars, actually animated.
Oh, that's pimp.
Whoa, that's kind of sick. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I mean, whenever I get through the watches again, I guess whenever Revenge of the Sith pops on again, I'll have to keep an eye out for Squid Lake and check out George.
Yeah, Squid Lake. But, yeah, there's a lot of little good details in there. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, Baron Papanoida. George Lucas makes an appearance, which is very, very funny. I love that little detail. So with that, we can conclude this episode of Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast, and we'll be back next week with episodes 9 and 10 of Season 2. Very, very excited for that. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at the Fulcrum Pod. Any updates on what we might be doing? We obviously got the Skeleton Crew coming up within the next couple months. We're very, very excited about that. We'll be doing the Rebels rewatch until then. But if there's anything else that crops up, important Star Wars news, we'll do an emergency broadcast, stuff like that. It's well worth your time to be over there on Twitter. But the main place on Twitter to be is at PennyBloomPod, which is where we are dispatched from. That's our flagship show. We're doing, me and Joe are doing one episode a week, and then I'm doing an episode with my dad every week now. It's a lot of fun. It's more timely, segment-based. We do entertainment, science, sports. It's a lot of fun stuff, So you got to be over there. This Friday, the CINEMENTALISTS begins. This Friday, the CINEMENTALISTS kicks off with a live commentary of Star Wars A New Hope. And I am so very excited for you to listen to that. In fact, I'm so excited for that at the end of this episode, after I sign off, you're going to hear a little bit of that live commentary, just about a 10-minute segment. I'm going to pick out that segment. I'm going to send it to Joe, make sure that he can get it edited tacked on to the end of this episode. But just a little teaser for what we're doing. When we do live commentaries, what we want is for you to watch the movie with us. Go to Disney Plus, queue it up, and press play when I do a little countdown. You'll watch the movie with us as we talk it through. And we're not, you don't have to do that. You can just listen to it, especially if you know the Star Wars movies as well as we do. But it's a lot more fun to be watching the movie together. That's the point of it. So we would encourage you to head to the CINEMENTALISTS. There's already a few episodes available. We did season 1 of Cinema Surprise. The last episode will be about the Fablemans. You should go check it out. You can subscribe, follow, review, all that good stuff ahead of our first official episode about Star Wars A New Hope. We're going to be doing that live commentary this Friday. So be ready for listen to that little tidbit we've got at the end here, and maybe that'll intrigue you enough to go check it out. I would appreciate it greatly. But yeah, leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening to Fulcrum. We would appreciate it greatly. And yeah, with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, for light and life. Welcome to the CINEMENTALISTS. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. I know I was talking about the 70s earlier and I didn't want much 70s, but even Luke's hair is pretty fucking 70s. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's a 70s cut right there.
it looks incredible. That's probably the best Luke's hair has ever looked, in fact, like right here in this moment.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. Both of them. Harrison and Mark Hamill right now.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. I mean, like, hard to make Harrison Ford look bad.
True.
Also, that is an attractive man.
Are we going to get another door?
Yeah.
Door cut? Oh, not quite. Love the PowerPoint transitions.
Oh, the mouse droids.
I don't know. People always say that Star Wars has the simplest transitions from scene to scene, and like it, sometimes has like the circle, just like coming from the middle of the screen, or like the closing in, or
the swipe.
Yeah, just it's simple,
Swipe
it's simple, but it works.
No, yeah, and I mean, like, there's a classicness to that too. Yeah, like, look at that.
That's incredible.
That's fucking outstanding.
How do you do that? Like, what was that a mixture of?
There's Yularen again. Wow.
Man.
There he goes.
Man.
Those goofy ass helmets.
Just the sheer amount of things that were built. Like, it's crazy. Just and then probably once it was done and over, they just took it down because you can't have it take up the space anymore. But like, how much room did this set take up right here? Just for these couple shots right here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I bet like it's nice once you get to the Imperial sets because a lot of the stuff just repeats. Like, you can have those panels, like just the kind of iconic, like, I don't know what those light panels. They just repeat a lot, so maybe they just had a couple of those on standby, but right. Like that, like, I mean, obviously the whole hallway there is not real, but like, oh my god, like,
no, yeah, but like, that's awesome that they managed something even remotely like that. Like, that looks incredible. God, those helmets are so fucking doofy. I love them taking them all out. Don't they, like, take out cameras? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, good job, guys. Nobody saw it. Having a giant fucking firefight in this room.
Damn,
nobody's going to hear about it. Nobody saw it.
Still people alive, and they're going for the cameras first. I mean, I
like,
think
there's so many cameras.
Man, oh my god! Now that how many cameras did they? Oh my god! What and another? Holy shit! Wow,
they just kept coming. I don't think I've ever noticed how many fucking cameras are in that room.
The budget cuts. I mean, the budget that they would save if they just, I don't know, used even just half of that amount of cameras. I mean,
Everything's under control, normal situation. This is what gets you Harrison Ford's acting.
Yeah,
his performance nod here.
How are you?
Dude, he's so fucking funny.
Oh man. And I love when he eventually just gives
very
up.
Dangerous. God, he's so fucking cool.
He's like, all right, screw this. This isn't going to work anymore. Might as well give it
anyway.
Man,
great shot there as well.
I still can't believe the number of cameras that were out there. But, man. Wow, you had to just stop and take a look. Oh. He's like, wow. Little do I know.
Yeah. I'm here to rescue you. Love that she's in cell 2187. Nice little Easter egg for what Finn's number is later on. FN 2187.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Or maybe I've heard that, but that's never stuck before. I feel like that's going to stick now. Having it during the movie, especially. But
I love that Tarkin's just always been such a cynic. He'll never believe anything about the Jedi being alive. It was something that I recently rewatched Rebels, and they're talking about like Kanan Jarrus, and he's like, bullshit. He's not a Jedi. I call fucking bullshit. And then he like meets Kanan Jarrus. He's like, well, goddamn, there's one left, just one though. And then he meets Ezra Bridger. And he's like, okay, just those two though. There's only two left. He wants to believe so badly that they've eradicated the Jedi when they just haven't at all.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, if you're around Vader that much, I mean, you would just got to think by like, man, he's probably done it. You know, if that's his job to eradicate them all, like, damn. I mean, he might as well have for a little bit. I mean, there was a time period where every Jedi was just kind of down in the dumps. But
it's true.
Man, yeah, I love the argument that, you know, just, I don't know, the Acolytes kind of causing a bunch of Anakin, I don't know, whatever right now, besides the point. But how, like, Dave Filoni says Anakin Skywalker's the greatest Jedi ever. And it's like, well, you know, sure, he is the story, whatever. But then I saw the counter argument that was like, well, you could actually argue that Anakin is the worst Jedi of all time on paper.
Yeah.
Literally, like, there's no Jedi that has done more damage to the Jedi Order than Anakin Skywalker. So, yeah,
there's likely never been a Jedi who did more damage to the fucking galaxy than Anakin Skywalker.
So, you know, how do you define best Jedi? You know, most powerful? Sure. Most midichlorians? Sure. But best Jedi? No. I wouldn't say so, actually.
I would argue that he is, the worst, probably the most awful Jedi there's ever been.
That's I don't know. I just love these back and forths.
Either I'm going to kill her or I'm beginning to like her. Yeah, I love that originally it seemed like they were building something of a love triangle between these three. Mm-hmm. Obviously didn't pan out between the brother and sister, but couldn't. We're not in Thrones, you know. We aren't right.
We're
not Game of Thrones.
Not back in that time period, but the future, incest, I guess, remains a no. That's good. I guess that's
good. It's good
that we're still there. But man, this. I mean, I've always just been a clean person. I don't like the ick. This would just suck. This only only the monster below them that they don't even know is there. But like, just I would just hate this anyways.
It's already disgusting.
Yeah.
I, for some reason, thought that this would be a much bigger problem I may face in my life.
Closing walls. Why in every movie that we watched as a kid, The Incredibles, you know, we had to run through.
Right.
I feel like a wall that was closing in. Why did I can't think of really any other specific ones, but I feel like it just popped up all the time that walls would close in and you had to find something to prop them open, or you had to make it through.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I hope that never fucking happens to me. Look at that little fucker.
Yuck.
This is obviously one of the most iconic scenes in the whole of the franchise, and I'm hard pressed to not call it my favorite scene of the movie. I know it's probably a corny pick, but just when they make it out here before long, when it's prevented, and it's the first time they get a chance to celebrate as a family, and Han and Leia embrace, and Luke and them, they're all having a good time, and then 3PO's like, "Oh my God, listen, they're fucking dying." It's just such a perfect beat of comedy and joy, and just it feels good. It's a small win when it feels like we're in a situation with insurmountable odds, and I love shit like that. But it's so much fun. And, you know, again, the dirty, like, usually in sci-fi movies, you're dealing with such clean-cut aesthetics, and this just says, fuck it, what if we were in the dirtiest possible place we could imagine? A trash compactor that's filled with weird goo, and a monster.
Yeah. Wherever that monster went, you know, to get out of this crushing, you know, whatever. I guess it's just the sewer, whatever. I don't even want to think of what system's going on down there. But man,
fuck that.
Yeah, that's this. I don't know. It is a really nice, like, kind of, this is where their found family begins. You know, their first
this is when
battle
it starts,
of sorts. That they've all gone through together. So
they almost
never really
face
thought of
death
it that
together.
way.
They almost all die in each other's arms, essentially, and they end up making it through.